Also to the true Hebrews, El Salami, or El Shalom Leto, I should say. But they've definitely been chosen. This goes up. This gives no props out to those imposter Hebrews known as the Jews. When you read Revelation, the 2nd chapter, the 9th verse, you find out why, as well as the 3rd chapter of Revelation, the 9th verse. It breaks down quite eloquently who they are. Tonight's class is going to be basically the esoteric explanation of the holy books. Basically, I'm going to the Bible, the Quran, and different other books through the Spanish eyes, the Bhagavad Gita, the Mahabharata, the Apocrypha, the Dead Sea Scrolls, the book of come forth by light and shadow, which is known as the book of come forth by the dead, as well as the Sumerian texts. Basically, we're going to get into all of that. And basically what we're going to do is explain the Bible and its origin relating back to the ancient Egyptians, back to the ancient Sumerians, all right, and where they got their information from. And basically explain the symbology behind it. Because if you really believe that Horus was a man with a falcon head, there's a bridge I can sell y'all that. You know what I'm saying? Basically, it breaks down like this, is that it's all symbolic. It's all symbolic. All right? It's all symbolic. And so that's what we're going to break down tonight. Let me continue from where we left off at last week. I want to get into the 4 sons of Horus. I guess I can't get if I can put it on up like this right here. All right. I'll do that. Yeah. What I just showed was the 42 confessions of Ma'at. If you read them, you find out that's where the 10 Commandments come from. We'll get more into that in a little bit. But let me get into the 4 sons of Horus or Heru. Basically, we break it down like this. If y'all don't know the story about Osiris, Osiris was chopped up into 14 pieces by his brother Set. Mm-hmm. 13 pieces was found by his wife Set, who was Isis. Osiris' actual name is Osor. All right. One of Marduk's 50 names within the Sumerian text is Osaru Alim, or Nuna. All right. Basically, Marduk is the god Osiris, and vice versa. It depends on which culture you go to in order to get this information. Either it's ancient Kemetic or Egyptian, or either it's ancient Sumerian, or Mesopotamian, or Babylonian, or Akkadian, or whatever term that you would want to use for the ancient text on that time period. The 4 sons of Heru, for example, Heru himself represents ether. All right, as one of the 5 elements. Then you got the other 4 elements: earth, air, water, and fire. All right, this is how his 4 sons break down into it. I'm gonna put the names and everything on the board so everybody can zoom into it. All right, these are also the 4 beasts that's mentioned within Revelation, the 5th chapter, the 5th verse. If somebody got the scriptures, please open that for me and read that.
Revelations, 5th chapter.
5th chapter, the 5th verse.
And one of the elders saith unto me, Weep not. Behold, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, hath prevailed to open the book, and to loose the 7 seals thereof. And I beheld, and lo, in the midst of the throne, and of the 4 beasts, and in the midst of the elders, stood a lamb as it had been slain.
Right, so these 4 sons of Heru, symbolic to the 4 beasts mentioned within Revelation. Now, how do we know this? It's because we go back to the ancient Egyptian culture. That's the only place in which that could have possibly came from. And I'll break that down in a second. when you read the 4 books of the Gospels, this is also how it breaks down also, too. It's based on the 4 sons of Heru. Alright, basically you got Amsat, you got doeth much, if, happy, and Kevhet, Sinuf. Alright, these are the 4 sons of Heru. We put Heru up here. Now if y'all know who Heru is Taurus, which is the Greek translation of it. And he is symbolic to ether, which is the 5th element. Alright? But mostly you got these 4 sons, which is man, lion, bull, eagle. Man is Aquarius. This is symbolic to Aquarius. Lion is symbolic to Leo. Bull is Taurus. Eagle is symbolic to Scorpion or Scorpio. All right. Now, how do we break this down? It's quite simple. It's because these are talking about constellations and stars. It's talking about constellation patterns and stars. Now, also understand is that as above, so below. As within, so without. So this means that this also has a relationship to you yourself. Now, air. You take in 78%. The air is composed of 78% nitrogen and 21% of oxygen. And 1.some% of argon and different other elements off the periodical chart. 100% of air. Alright, you take in what? Oxygen. So that's the air. The breath of life was breathed into the nostrils of man, and man became a living soul. Fire. Your temperature is what? 98.6 degrees. If you round it off, that's 99. Now what that coincides with? 99 coincides with the 99 attributes of Allah, the 99 elements in which that makes up your physical body. Alright? As well as the 99 tetradrons, which makes up your genetic coding. If you ever see a picture of the DNA structure, you'll see lines like that. These are called tetradrons. Alright, these are the lines. Alright, and there's 99 of them in which that makes up your DNA structure. So everything coincides. All right, the sun equivalence is 9 to the 9th power of 9. Your hair is 9 ether. All right, so this all is going back to this number 9. 9 what? Galaxy sparrows like what? Elliptical into the shape of number 9. Okay, our particular universe, galaxy in particular, is what called the Milky Way galaxy. And it has the elliptical shape and it's shapes like that into the number 9. Alright, so the number 9 is very powerful. Obviously, it's the highest of all mathematical numbers. From 0 to 9, that's the highest you can go. After that, then it starts back over again. Alright? Now, the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, is all, once again, it's symbolic. Alright? There were none of these people. None of these people ever existed. I know some people tell you that they did, but it's all symbolic, and you will soon find this out later on as you do more studying. What it's talking about is constellations, like I said. It's all symbolic to these constellations. Also, chakra points. All right, for example, the word John comes from the word Yahya. All right, which means love or beloved. All right, so it's talking about your heart chakra. John deals with your heart chakra. Deals with opening up your heart chakra. All right, Luke. If you look at the word Luke, is like short for Lucifer. You know what I'm saying? So obviously that deals with the root energy. You know what I'm saying? Mark, we can say Mark deals with X marks the spot. You know what I'm saying? Which is talking about the pineal gland. area, you know what I'm saying? Which is talking about symbolically to the pineal gland excreting melanin, which is excreted from the black dot area. Alright? Which is also the doorway into the collective unconsciousness, according to Richard King. You know what I'm saying? Matthew, you can say, deals with the solar plexus area. Alright? All this is symbolic to something else. Alright? Now you got this much on here. There's something else I want to put up here too. Is that there's 4 particular angels as well as, let me see. These two go together with it.
Is it a whole new 4 chart or adding on to that?
This is added on.
Okay.
This is I don't have enough space on the board, so just put it as if it was right here on your paper. These are the angels according to the Kabbalah, as well as several other so-called holy books, are the angels who sit at the 4 corners of the earth that holds back the 4 winds from destroying the planet. Gabriel, Michael, Uriel, and Raphael. Raphael coincides with John. Raphael is symbolic to healing. Raphael means to be healed by God, the healing of God, which is symbolic to your heart chakra also. So as you see, everything is coinciding. All right? You got winter, summer, fall, and spring, which is symbolic to the 4, I guess, seasonal changes, which that coincides with these 4 beats mentioned within Revelations. So whenever you read these books, understand this is what you're reading about. It's talking about the 4 sons of Heru, which is talking about the 4 angels, symbolically. Alright? Now for those that want to see a picture of the 4 sons, you see a good picture here. Here go the guy Heru and his wife. This is the goddess Aset, and you see the 4 sons right there coming up out of a lotus plant. The lotus plant represents the bring forth life, or the sprout forth life, which is also symbolic to the god Tammuz, in which that Heru is the god Tammuz, which is also the god in which that you worship. Alright? You need that in front of you. Now let me read to you. The 4 sons of Heru was the protectors of the parts of the bodies of Osiris. And from this became the protectors of the body of the deceased. Okay? So that's what they were. Now let me read you some of their duties and who they were. Set, one of the 4 sons of Heru, Set was represented as a mummified man. He was the protector of the liver of the deceased and was protected by the goddess Isis. Alright? Dermot, one of the 4 sons of Heru, he was represented as a mummified man with the head of a jackal. He was the protector of the stomach of the deceased and was protected by the goddess Net. Alright, let's go to happy. Matter of fact, this is where you get the term happy from. You know that you're very happy. And so even when you use the term happy, you call it on one of the ancient Egyptian deities, Kemetic deities. Just like when you say Dag, you call it on Dagon, which is one of the ancient deities of Mali. The people there known as the Dogon tribe or the Dagon tribe. As well as he was represented as a half human and half fish. Alright, this is where you get your Christ concept from. That Christ symbol on the back of every car and every truck that you see before these Christians riding around here talking about is actually worshiping Dagon, who is actually one of the Christs. Alright? Happy. He was one of the sons of Heru. He was represented as a mummified man with the head of a baboon. He was the protector of the lungs of the descendant, of the deceased, and was protected by the goddess Nefertiti. The name Happy, spelled with different hieroglyphics in most, but not all cases, is also the name of the god who was the purification or the personification of the river Nile, depicted as a corpulent man, fat, significance, abundance, with a crown of lilies, upper Nile or papyrus plant, lower Nile. All right, so that was he was depicted with the crown of lilies in the upper Nile area and papyrus plant in the lower Nile area.
Backtracking a bit, you said according to the zodiac signs, which one correlates with which zodiac sign?
Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, Scorpio, or Scorpion rather. See if I had some more board, I could put that up there.
Just abbreviate it next to them under and put in parentheses.
Yeah.
If you know the symbols.
That's all.
Well, shoot, if I knew the symbols, then shoot,
Aquarius is water,
You
right?
know what? Yeah, Aquarius is water. But it's the air sign, though. Aquarius is the air
It
sign.
has one born and later.
Yeah, I know it has, but it's actually an air
Air
sign.
sign.
They don't count it as a water sign. That's I, because I would think the same thing, but actually it's called the air sign. Lion, Leo. Leo is a fire sign, as y'all know, which represents the sun. Bull, Taurus. Constellation Taurus. Also, it's symbolic to the earth, as they say. And Scorpion is a water sign. So these are the signs right here. Let me get this last one. Capensif Nuf is one of the representation. He was one of the four sons of Heru. He was represented as a mummified man with the head of a falcon. He was protector of the intestines of the deceased and was protected by the goddess Silkhet. Alright, so these are the four beasts mentioned within Revelation, the verse that we read a little bit earlier. Alright, so that's where you get that concept from Revelation about the four beasts from. It's talking about the four sons of Heru. Has that been explained thoroughly? Okay, let's move on. Alright, you got many creation myths. Many creation myths. One in particular is right here. I'm going to show you the creation, and it says Hebrew Shalom and Greek Hades or Jannah. Certainly not the most monstrous hell in the authorized King James Standard Version of the New Testament. The book of James, the 3rd chapter, verse 6. The hellfire and bottomless pit, allegories of the Christians and Muslims are from the distorted and perverted minds of little men and women who would like to have everyone like themselves live in constant mental pain and fear of their own deity, their God, Jesus or Allah, and has presented the entire world as an all-time torturer. The monster Apep was allegedly trying to stop God Ra from raising his by causing thunder, storms, hurricanes, and lightning. Became the god Satan. So basically, it breaks that down about who Apep is, and of talking about. I got more. We won't finish.
No, we don't. Send them.
All right, that goes back to what I showed y'all right here. This is Satan. Satan is the snake. Satan is Satan, the snake of the Genesis that talked and walked. If you read Genesis, the 3rd chapter, the 1st and 2nd verse. Genesis, the 3rd chapter, the 2nd.
Something about the beast of the field with the Lord God, me.
Yup.
Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which
Right.
the Lord God had made. And he said unto the woman, Yea, hath God said, You shall not eat of every tree of the garden? And the woman said unto the serpent, We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden.
Right, go to 4.
Okay.
verse 4.
And
And
the
then verse
serpent,
14.
okay. Verse 4. And the serpent said unto the woman, Ye shall not surely die. Verse 14. And the Lord God said unto the serpent, Because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle, and above every beast of the field. Upon your belly shalt thou go, and thus shalt thou eat all the days of thy life.
That's the signs right there. It said, upon your belly shall you go. So obviously, at one time, the snake had what?
Let me see. Okay.
Well, where did they get that concept from? Remember that you got to understand that the ancient Hebrews were part of the dynasties, of the 19 dynasties up under Akhenaten, all right, who was the actual real Moses, all right? You got to understand this. So, how you doing? Peace. Well, right here goes the picture right here. On the left is the picture of Satan, snake walking on human legs. Hold up, S-A-T-A. You throw the N on it, what did you get?
Satan.
Satan. Come on, man. Yo, we ain't got time for no more of this foolishness. This is where the concept comes from. It's off the is on the walls of the ancient. It's on hieroglyphics on the walls in ancient Egypt on the Metanetta. These are the Metanettas. This is the sacred writings. Alright? It's all symbolic. This is where the ancient Hebrews got the concept from in order to write the Bible. It came from ancient Egypt, ancient Kemet. Alright? Y'all can pass this around and look at the name. Look, read the bottom. I'm not making this up. So that's what it's talking about. Now, also, let's get into the symbol of the 5 point of the inverted 5-pointed star and different other symbols like that. Yeah. It's not over there. Right here, the rising sun is symbolic of Jesus. Now, how do we know this? Because Jesus had 12 disciples. The sun up in the sky, S-U-N, has 12 disciples also. It's called the 12 zodiac signs. Now, is that a coincidence? I don't know. You tell me. I'm telling you is that the Jesus in which that you worship is the same God that everybody on this planet worshipped at one time. And that's talking about the S-U-N, the sun up in the sky. Because the sun is the manifestation of God. Is a living physical manifestation of the power of God. And that's at one time basically whoever, and it wasn't the fact of worshiping, it was the fact of acknowledging the fact that the sun was the life giver to this planet and to everything upon this planet as well as within this solar system. It helps everything within the solar system. The sun makes up 99% of the mass in the solar system. Hold up, that goes back to the 99 attributes of Allah. Hold up, that goes back to the 99 temperature of your body. That goes back to the 99 elements in which that your physical body is made up of. And the sun holds 99% of the mass in the solar system. So if the sun holds 99% of the, so who were they talking about when they said Allah has 99 attributes? If I'm not mistaken, the 93rd attribute of Allah is Al-Nur, which is the light. The sun happens to be what? 93 million miles away. Come on, man. Yo, this is nonsense. Right? Yo, this is all going to be explained. You know what I'm saying? So, Jesus was the son, S-U-N, who died, Set, S-E-T, Set, as in Satan. What happened? The sun rises, the sun sets. Night comes in, people get scared because it turned nighttime. That's where the science behind being scared of black came from. Alright? They see it turn night, then they can't see y'all niggas. And get night. White folks be walking out. And, you know, niggas jump out the bush and it's all over. Boom. You know what I'm saying? So that's the science in this. On the cross, now check this out. The rising sun is symbolic of Jesus. Jesus was his son, S-U-N, who died on the cross by crucifixion. Let me explain. What happened is that the sun. Everybody got this?
Yeah.
Alright. Every 26 or every 24 to 25 to 26,000 years, the sun travels around the 12 zodiacal signs. The 12 zodiacal signs. Right here. It takes the sun approximately 26,000 years to do this. Alright, if you want to be more precise, like the Father Saint say, 25,928,000 years. But most people say between 24 to 26,000. Alright, I'm not going, for example, this part right here is 6,000 years. Alright. This part right here . You see how I'm making the cross? 6,000 years here, 6,000 years here, 6,000 years here. 6,000 times 4 parts is what? 24,000 years, approximately. So, those 4 zodiacs, remember the 4 suns, the 4 beasts that have on the board? Y'all, remember I read the information how they coincide with your intestinal organs, with your intestines, with your head, with your body parts. So that means as above, so below. That was the below part. Now let's see the above part. These 4 points is symbolic to those 4. Aquarius.
Leo.
Alright, which is man. Alright,
Lion,
lion,
Leo,
which is symbolic to Leo.
Bull,
The bull,
Taurus,
which is symbolic to Taurus.
Eagle,
Which is symbolic to
Scorpion.
Scorpio.
Scorpion.
Alright. Alright, so as you see, those 4 main parts are the 4 winds in which that holds back destruction from the earth. In other words, if this collapsed, everything collapsed. Alright, now, as the sun travels, now, y'all know we enter into the age of Aquarius. It has just finished up a 26,000 year cycle. We're now entering into a new sun cycle. Alright, you got 2 moon cycles, 2 sun cycles. Alright, for example, let me see. Let's see. Sun. Alright, there's 2 moon cycles and 2 sun cycles. We're entering into the age of Aquarius, as they say. Supposed to be entered into the age of Aquarius January the 23rd, 1997. Alright, that coincides with the fact that the 5% say that 9/7 born, 7 God. That's the year of the born God. That's the year that Christ returned. If you don't believe me, look up in. You should have been looking up in the sky, and you would have seen the herald of God returning. Check this out. I know this is so deep. You seen the comet? What? Hell-Bop. The comet Hell-Bop returned. Alright, it just coincides with the fact that the companion of Hell-Bop, they said it was a companion to that, was called Hail Mary. It's supposed to be the shit in the middle. Alright, now check this out. When the comet left in the end of August, the end of April, what happened? El Nino became. Hold up, the word El Nino means the Christ child in Spanish. I don't think y'all caught that. Hail Mary, Hell-Bop, left in April, which happened to be the same month that Easter is. Oh, okay. Hell-Bop was discovered and came the closest, was in the skies in December, which happened to have been the month that they claimed Jesus was supposed to have been born in. Left in in Easter, Passover, Hebrew, crossing over.
Yeah.
Okay, Nubiru, planet of the crossing. Okay. Then El Nino came, which in Spanish means the Christ child. Is that a coincidence?
I think not.
Okay. Y'all follow me then. This is all astronomical. Now that means that, once again, as above, so below. What happened to you in the year born God?
You were born.
You started to become born again. The 12 strands of what is called your helices, right, in which that you once used to have. you know right now you only have supposedly had 2 strands. But what it was is that in the year born God in 97, your helices started to heal. Alright, let me give you another example.
So that was the initiation of
That was the initiation.
Alright.
This is symbolic to your DNA. This is what it's called your double
Helix strength.
helix strands.
Indeed.
Your 2 helix strands. The reason why you have 2 is because it represents polarity, of positive and negative, good and evil, disagreeable, agreeable, good, bad.
That them with the 2 guardians of the tree.
That's the guardians of the tree. This is the tree. Because what comes out of your DNA structure? Your life.
Right.
What happened after you make generation after generation? You create what is called a family tree. Alright? The Ankh, you are the living representation of the Ankh. The Ankh is called the key or the source of life. You stand like this with your arms out, you become the cross in which that Jesus was crucified on, or the Son was crucified on. Alright? So, originally, you had more than just 2 DNA helices. Alright? You had 12. This is symbolic to Judah and Dan, the 2 remaining tribes, in which that you would read that 10 tribes was cast out of the sight of God in Kings. Okay. Don't worry, we'll get that verse for you.
17, 17. 17. I think that's the one you do.
Right. Now that's when the 10 tribes was cast out of the sight of God. God is symbolic to the pineal gland. The 10 tribes or the 10 strands or the 10 bars was symbolic of being cast out. Was those in which those 10 strands that was cut up. All right, you have what's called junk DNA. This is only 1/3 of your DNA structure. You got another 2/3 of your DNA in which that you don't even use. Scientists call it junk DNA. They claim that it's a remnant, that is leftover parts of your evolutionary stages. Is that you evoluted from a tadpole into a frog, into a cat, into a dog, into a sheep, into a monkey, then an ape. Then you fell out the tree, then brushed yourself off, and you became a Negro. This is what they claim. This is Charles Darwin theory, is it not? All right then. All righty. All righty then.
Indeed.
All right. So there's 2/3 of your DNA structure that you do not use called
Junk DNA.
junk DNA. These make up the remaining 10 tribes or 10 strands of DNA that you do not use. All right. These 10 tribes in the last days. This is the last days. The year of born God represented the end of the white man reign, because the year 2000, his computer system is going down and everything is getting ready to get haywire. Best believe that. Alright? There's going to be some hectic things going on. Might be some riots, might be some, people looting and rioting. It ain't no worse than the Rodney King verdict. But, you know what I'm saying? But it will take place. Now, you add back in the 12 strands, it looks something like this. And basically what you end up with is the DNA molecule, what's called your melanin molecule. Alright, and now when this sets in, you will have access to more than just quote unquote 10% of the uses of your brain. When this sets in, you will have usage of 100% of your brain. In other words, you will no longer be cut off in order to communicate with the ancestors. you'll be able to go face to face with them. This is what Malachi York speaks about, the return of the barytheric gland. It would be reinserted in the submental area, which is right up under here in the throat area. It was taken out of the hippocampus area in your brain. But there are some being born now, since the year born God, most of us have had it returned to us. And basically it feels like a little, I guess you can say a little,
Little ball or something? What?
ball, right, a little ball, you know what I'm saying, right up under the chin area. Right.
Born so smart.
Right.
2-year-old kids, man, doing things you wouldn't even believe.
I know.
Color T.
All
right.
Melanin.
Now, this is where the other tribes of Israel was cast out. 2 Kings 17th chapter, the 18th verse. Therefore the Lord was very angry with Israel and removed them out of his sight.
Now hold on, Israel, Isis, Ra, El. Actually, Israel is the masculine form principle. That deals with those that worship Asor, Ra, and El. Ishmael is those who worship Isis, Ma'at, and El.
They put that on the board.
In other words, Ishmael, remember you had two, Abraham had two sons.
Yeah.
One was called Ishmael, and the other one was called Isaac, who had Jacob, who became known as Israel. Alright? In other words, it represented the feminine energy was here first, and then afterwards came the masculine energy. Alright? So this is symbolic to Aset, Ma'at, which these 42 laws of mind is made up of, and El, which means God. Aset is the wife of Osiris or Osor. Ma'at is the goddess of justice, of reciprocity, of balance, order, love, justice, truth. All right.
When you say like the feminine side, you're dealing with humbling yourself out.
Right.
Okay.
Passive side.
So based Osor, Ra, and El. That's where Israel actually comes. That's the masculine side. Ishmael is the feminine side. You can listen to the phonetic sounding of it, and Ishmael sounds a little bit more feminine than
Like
Israel.
Ma.
Right, Ma.
As simple as that, Ma.
Ma. Ra, which is what? The sun god of the father? Come on. You know what I'm saying? So this is the science in this. Alright, continue reading.
And removed them out of his sight.
Okay. So right there it tells you that the 10 tribes of Israel was moved out of the sight of God.
And the only one